Good morning, diners, and welcome to the Coronews edition of the Doomstead Diner and Clubs Cafe. Okay, that's a copyright, folks, trademark, Coronews. Okay, that's what this has been, the Coronews channel, for the last couple of weeks, and looks to be so for the foreseeable future. So, I had to give it its own name, okay? So it's got its own name now, Coronews. And I'm back in front of the camera again, okay? And because, you know, the shitstorm keeps on going. It keeps on getting even wilder all the time, every single day. There's some new restriction placed on, some new big to-do going on, some new report released, etc. That is in need of coverage and in need of a good diner analysis, because you don't necessarily get the truth from the MSM. In fact, you more than likely get a bunch of bullshit from the MSM. And that's the way it goes, okay? Everybody knows. So, I'm going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. It's, you know, I think I'm going to air this on a Sunday. It is actually now Thursday night, going into Friday. And St. Patty's Day is over. I published the St. Patty's video a couple of days ago. Hope you watched it. There's a lot of good stuff in it. And we're going to add to it today. But before we do that, we have to go over our meal. And today, it's a special one. All right? So, let's check it out, right? All right. As usual, on the Coronews channel, we drink Corona beer. All right? And given the fact that I don't have coronavirus as of yet, show no symptoms and so forth, maybe it's true that if you drink Corona beer, it gives you immunity from coronavirus. No, it doesn't, okay? It's pure coincidence. And our usual Alaska glacial spring water, the best water in the world. To wash down our food. And what's the food? Oh boy, you're going to love this stuff. Okay? It is a salad and stew combination meal. All right? Both of them whipped up by Chef Extraordinaire R.E. All right? And what we have here, and you can see the picture in at the beginning of the video, is a lobster salad. Okay, this is a lobster that I chopped up and made into a something like doing tuna fish, but not so finely chopped as tuna fish. Okay, and then I put a few other spices and stuff in there that make it special and very tasty. And you can drip lemon on it and stuff if you like, which also is nice. But personally, I think I did it up good, and it plain, or as it comes on the plate, doesn't need anything else. All right, and so that's the centerpiece of the salad, and then we've got avocado. All right, nice fresh avocado, straight up here from Mexico, and what do you call it? Tomatoes from a local Alaska hothouse. All right. Wintertime, still tomatoes, okay? This place uses hydroponics, very nice, okay? And they are capped, as usual, with anchovies, because I love anchovy-capped tomatoes. And the last major ingredient, grape leaves, imported from Greece, probably. Might be from Spain, I don't know, for sure. Somewhere in the Mediterranean, though, anyway. And they're really good. I love grape leaves, stuffed grape leaves. Very delicious. Not cheap, but delicious. And then for the hearty main course, for beefing you up for those cold Alaska winters, RE's famous beef stew. Okay? And this beef stew actually has a history because the meat that I used, I took a couple of old steaks that I vacuum sealed and froze back in, I think about 2010. All right? And I wanted to see what they're like. They're one of a bunch that I have from that era. And one of them, the seal, perfectly intact, like the day I put it in here. Steak looks great. I'm going to cook that steak. I'm going to grill it, or I might sous vide it, actually, and then reverse sear it. I'll see. I haven't got to that yet. I got at least one meal in between this one and before I get to that one. So, but the other one, the one that I used for the beef stew, it did not hold a perfect seal on the plastic vacuum seal bag. It didn't really open, but it wasn't perfect. It wasn't tight against the meat. There was air in there and so forth. The meat was a little gray, okay? But there was no freezer burn or whatnot. And I said, well, maybe this will make a good stew meat. So that's what I did. I cut it up, I cubed it up, and threw it into the slow cooker with Alaska potatoes and Alaska carrots and onions, which I don't think are from Alaska, but they might be, and mushrooms and celery. And what else did I use for the broth cooking in? I used Madeira wine and beef broth to do that, and then spices. In this one, I was just sort of throwing in the kitchen sink there, whatever I felt like, and tasting it as I went. It's all to taste, and my stews never come out precisely the same. But in this one, I used the usual salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and I think herb de Provence, and rosemary, and I think a little sage. And I wanted to put in parsley, Italian parsley, but I couldn't find it. I know I have it, but I couldn't find it. My spice rack needs to be alphabetized or something. There's so many little bottles there, I can't find anything sometimes. But anyway, all right, so that's the meal. And, that's what we're going to enjoy here as we peruse the news about coronavirus. All right, and we're getting the talking heads from NBC, the science people, medical people, virologists, and so forth, who are, going to tell us everything we need to know about coronavirus. And what do you really need to know? Well, what you really need to know right now is that our economy is going to crash big time. It's already crashing big time. You've got millions of people, I think now, or at least tens of thousands. All of Los Angeles or all of California was ordered by the governor now to shelter in place and to stay at home. Nobody can move in California. Now, can you imagine that? Okay. What about all the TV shows? How are they going to record the TV shows? And, the businesses and everything, the restaurants all closed and whatnot. And all these people basically not receiving paychecks right now. So that's, Los Angeles or California. And then same thing, same story over in New York. Cuomo, who's not a homo, is asked Trumpovetsky to send some National Guard in, something like 500 troops. What is 500 troops going to do in New York? I mean, just New York City has 8 million plus people. The greater New York area, 20 million. And then you got Syracuse, Albany, blah, 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 blah. So 500 troops is going to, really do a lot in terms of keeping order and, helping people who are sick and can't get to a hospital and so forth. I mean, it's so little, it's ludicrous, all right? It's all talking points, that, oh, I'm doing something. I'm governor and I'm asking for help, and the government, the federal government isn't helping me, et cetera. And then Trump, on the other hand, says that, the governors need to take more responsibility for themselves, that he's not a supply house for the states. They got to find their own shit to deal with this. Huh. Are you kidding? You can't even find fucking toilet paper in the grocery stores. They're going to find, 50,000 surgical masks or whatever they think they need to deal with this. And, where's all the hospital beds going to come from? And even if they had all the hospital beds, where's all the doctors that could possibly handle this? There's not enough. There's not enough on the planet. And there's certainly not enough in the United States. So, it's basically going to be a case of stay home and die, all right, if you get sick. And so, everybody's trying to avoid the disease, which at this stage is probably just about unavoidable, all right? It is asymptomatic for 2 weeks in somebody. They don't even know they have it. And then apparently the virus, if you cough it up or whatever, it can persist on surfaces like cardboard, maybe paper, money. This was brought up inside the diner. So you could pick up coronavirus when, the clerk hands you change at the store, if you're not using plastic, of course, if you use cash. And so there's almost no way you're not going to get it. 2 or 3 members of Congress now have it, and they have exposed their own staffs, other congressmen, and so forth. Our entire government of clowns may get coronavirus. And given there's a lot of old guys in there, maybe a lot of them will die. And, that wouldn't be all bad. But it certainly will make for an interesting election year overall as it goes. Will people be allowed to go to the polls? Probably not. You're going to have to drop your vote in by mail, like K-Dog did when, he voted in the primary when I was down in Seattle, where I managed to get out in one piece and get home. Thank God. And now I am super secret, top-notch sequestered. Okay? I haven't left the apartment in at least 3 days now, maybe 4. And I may leave tomorrow. Okay? I may go out for a shopping adventure tomorrow. I haven't decided for sure yet. We'll see. But I would like to stock up on a few things, if I can find them, of course. And, what else? California governor, lobbyists make a mad dash, shake coronavirus stimulus package. Oh, the stimulus package. I almost forgot about that one. All right? Now, supposedly, from what I understand, they're proposing a helicopter money drop to the people instead of the banks for a change, which, is progress, I suppose. But here's the deal. What they're proposing is $1,000 per adult and $500 per child for every man, woman, and child citizen of the FS of A. All right? Which is okay, that's pretty good. Except it would be pretty good if you got it every month. But as I understand it, this will probably be once a year, until the coronavirus thing is over. $1,000, it doesn't even pay a month's rent in most places in the lower 48. All right? 1 month's rent. And it's already been spent on last month's rent. So you've got to, it's supposed to be an economic stimulus package, but it's not enough money. And really, and that would work out to, let's say it averages out to $700 between the kids and the parents, all right, per person. And there are 350 million people in the United States. You got to do the math on that, but I think it's like, 200 and something billion dollars for this once in a year prize. But, in reality, like I say, you'd need it every month to really keep things running. And, so multiply by 12 and see where you get there. Now you're getting up into the trillions of dollars to try to, to print up and try to keep this thing running. So I don't think that's going to work. Okay? That's all I could say. And there are some ideas I've been pitching around in my brain of other things that might be done here. All involved a complete and radical refit and change of the monetary system. And the powers that be, people who own the banks, the Illuminati, as it were, the ultra uber rich, they don't want to relinquish power, and the monetary system as it stands is their source of power, and so they're going to do everything they can to keep it up and running. But I think they're running out of ammo. The Fed is down to like 0% interest rate, and it's not helping. And the stock market continues to take a nosedive, and so assets are dwindling or disappearing, evaporating into thin air where they came from. So we're on the cusp now of major change. And exactly what shape and form it's going to take still is something of a mystery. But I don't think it's really sunk in yet with most Joe Sixpacks. They're still shell-shocked. They're sitting at home. They don't know what to do. And it's only been a few days, so they're not broke yet. And, there isn't a foreclosure note on the McMansion door, and so forth. But that there's going to be some economic repercussions coming down the pipe, in 2 weeks at the outside. A lot of people get bi-weekly paychecks that they expect. When they don't get that paycheck, and next one, then they're going to start to really, really panic. The panic buying is already gone. You can't get toilet paper still and whatnot. Although I did find a solution to that myself, but it's a secret. I'm not telling anybody right now until I see if it works. And how this is going to wash out, oh God, I don't know. Right now, I'm still eating well, though. Okay, and I'll be eating well as long as I don't get a home invasion and the zombies come and kill me for my preps. But they'll put me out of my misery, right? But otherwise, I got enough to feed me and probably half the people living in the complex with me. So, food I'm not worried about, not right now. And everybody's got their own way, what they're doing to try to get themselves ready for what's to come. But all the plans that you have may have to go out the window. And you'll have to plan again by the seat of your pants as things go. And keep changing, keep adapting. And that's what Homo sap is good at, is change and adaptation. That's what made us so successful as a species for so many years. And when I say successful, I mean we just were able to breed up and take over the world. We weren't too successful on the level of maintaining a steady state environment that would last. We basically consumed everything in our path, like locusts. Okay, there's all sorts of explanations for that that you see, and where life is a dissipative organism and so forth. Talked this stuff over with Paul Furka at one time, and thermodynamics, entropy, and so forth. A lot of explanations for it, but the bottom line is we're in deep shit right now, and it's going to get deeper. And that's all the doom. This time until next time, on the Corona News Channel of the Collapse Cafe and the Doomstead Diner. Hasta la lobster salad and beef stew.